Hey everybody, it's the Monday Review. Me and Vince back in the cockpit. How you doing, Vince?
I'm doing good, man. Fresh off my Martin Luther King Day sabbatical. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Benevolent Bells, for giving me that opportunity to observe uh, on that day. It was much appreciated.
Good.
Much appreciated. But, survived the winter storm. I got power.
Got some snow in Louisville.
That's some snow, bro. I mean, I don't know what the official count is. Somewhere between like 6 and 8 inches.
Dang.
Yeah. Neighborhoods, pandemonium. Snow. First of all, that's a lot of snow. I went outside with my kids yesterday, and we went around the neighborhood to their friend's house or whatever. And that's a lot of snow to walk in. It's hard to walk in that much snow. First of all, and I had to pull a sled with my kids attached to it. I mean, that was a workout. I needed it. Gyms are closed. Yesterday was supposed to be one of my workout days. I couldn't make it. Couldn't make it. So pulling the kids around the neighborhood was an ample. Well, not ample's the wrong word, but it was. I don't even know what I'm saying.
Adequate. It was an adequate workout.
It was adequate, brother. It was an adequate workout. So got that done, but also while we're trekking around the neighborhood in the frozen tundra, also noticing a lot of my neighbors in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Cars, they're trying to move. They're trying to go places. For whatever reason, cars are just spinning out in the snow. My youngest one had told me her toes were cold, so we were turning around to go back home without the sled this time. I couldn't pull the sled anymore. But so I had picked her up. I was like, all right, we're going home. Started the trudge home. Then this one dude looked at me with the puppy dog eyes. He was like, hey, man.
Give me a push.
Give me a push. My car is stuck. And so I put my kid down. I did that. The car didn't go anywhere. Another neighbor came out so that she could drive the car and that we could both push at the same time. Nothing happened there either. So I don't know if his car's there, it's still there or not. We'll see at some point today. But yeah, winter storm, man. Winter storm, precipitation, etc. You think maybe you might get out of the winter with this might be a nice light winter. Nowadays in December, we getting days of like 60 degrees.
Yeah.
They come around, whatever. But man, January, February, consistently comes around with a vengeance. And
as it should,
I guess. Got my driveway shoveled, and let me tell you, 8 inches of snow. That's no light shoveling, man.
Yeah, that sounds like an ample workout, more than adequate. Yeah,
that shit is heavy. It took me a long time. I mean, I got my driveway's probably like 40 feet, something like that. That's about a regular driveway, I think. And yeah, man, it was not for the lighthearted. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much, brother. But
yeah. Well, speaking of lighthearted, that'd be a good description. Lightweight maybe would be a good description of the entire population of the Southeast during the United States, because we canceled everything based on the forecast. Basketball games canceled on Saturday. My son had a 4-H presentation in Rome, Georgia, which got canceled. And then it just rained a little bit, and it's cold today. So I mean, the roads are perfect, but they love canceling stuff here. That's one of their favorite things to do.
What's your son doing for 4-H?
So I have a question. I have some advice to ask you on this. He's doing his presentation which got selected to go to the regional competition, is on the climate of Scandinavia. His mother is half Norwegian, so he's like really into the Vikings and his Norwegian heritage. So he's doing it on he did it on the climate of Scandinavia. It's a solid presentation. Like how does it stay warm? How is it cold? And all the different ways that works. We went and did like a trial run with this lady in Lafayette because she wants to make sure the kids from this region do really well at this regional, at the whatever it is. And she had some tips for him. She said maybe make your map color and cover the entire poster board because he uses the map a lot. He points at the map a lot.
Right.
And so she said you need black foam board and try to get a color map. So unfortunately, I was a little helicoptery about this. I went and got the black foam board from him at Hobby Lobby.
Yeah.
The only place you can get it. And then I went and found a CIA World Book map of Europe that works. I saturated the color a little bit on GIMP. This took a while. I made sure it was a high enough resolution map that it would print off well at FedEx.
Yeah.
I went to FedEx. I picked it up. It's a beautiful map. It's perfect. And the presentation was, like I said, supposed to be Saturday. I brought it home. I showed Gideon. Gideon was happy about the map. And all week long last week, I was like, you gotta glue that map to the foam board, you know?
It's his project.
That's right. And I went into my office on Friday morning after he had glued the map to the foam board. That thing is crooked as it looks like a drunk toddler put it on there. I texted my wife. I was like, this is ridiculous, you know? Can he not just put it on there straight? He's 10 years old. This isn't rocket science.
See, but okay. When you were describing this whole thing to me, this whole project to me, I was sitting here thinking that these types of things were like the things I hated the most in school. Like, give me a test, give me 100 tests. Don't make me have to come to school with no trifold board and you know, like all that. Like I remember my science fair project. Like if you leave it up to me, I'm gonna make it the most blandest thing possible. Like my science fair project one time, I just printed out like black words on white paper and put it up on the trifold board. Like, hey, boom, I did my experiment here. Boom, like all this color, all this whatever, blah blah blah. No, and having met Gideon and spent some time with him, I think me and him are probably similarly. Like Gideon kind of reminds me of me as a kid, a little bit, and he's probably the type of kid that don't got no time for the aesthetics. You know what I'm saying? He's pure knowledge. He's pure knowledge. Yeah, he's pure knowledge, pure facts. You know what I'm saying? You spend some time with Gideon, he's always going to enrich you with something. He's good. You'll learn something that you didn't know prior from spending some time with Gideon. And so that's all he's worried about. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where he's coming from because I probably would have did the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in the cool light of day, I understand what you're saying. So here's the question. Should I push him to somehow rectify this crooked ass map on the foam board, or should I just let him go present it the way it is and let the chips fall where they may?
You know, I mean, if y'all went through all this all this trouble of going to the 4-H lady or whatever, to the 4-H guru, the one who told y'all to make all these improvements in the first place. Number one, you don't want to let her down. You don't want to let her down. And at the end of the day, he is 10. You know what I'm saying? He need a little guidance from his parental units.
Okay. I'll help him fix it. All right. Well, we're 10 minutes in. Let's get to the business. If anybody has any other thoughts on that, send me an email, scuffpod@gmail.com. Weston McKennie and Juve beat Napoli, the defending Serie A champion, 3-0. Wes is he's just playing well every time out now. I'd say he's probably the top of the pool right now in terms of form. But one interesting thing that came out of it is Spalletti, the manager, thinks Wes is, quote, a perfect central striker. And I'm going to quote at length here, quote, he's one of the strongest around at playing that role. He fights. He's great in the air, has an impressive jump, and he doesn't play to be told, poor guy. He plays to get results. because he makes decisions. He would be a perfect striker.
Now, I'll bring this up. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I might come back to that specific quote later in the pod. And he doesn't play to be told, poor guy, because I mean, there might be some people in this pool that
Play to be told, poor guy.
that might want to be told, poor guy. Such and such is failing you. Such and such. No, we out here to get results. That's right, Spalletti. That's right, Spalletti. And this comes after the Napoli match, like you said. And Wes once again is playing his like I don't even know what to call it.
Kind of second striker.
I mean, defensively, in most of this match, he is a right back.
Okay.
Like if Napoli has the ball and Juve is in their defensive shape, Weston McKennie is playing right back. But the magic is happening whenever Juve has the ball, and Weston is like anywhere on the pitch. Second striker, 10. Right center midfielder, like all these different things. Right wing back, he's everywhere. He even pops up on the left side too, quite often. Now, at the end of this match, he actually was playing striker a little bit, and I would say that's probably. It's funny that Spalletti said this because I didn't think he was very good playing striker at the end of the match. Like they're like lumping balls up to him. Like traditional striker stuff. Holding a defender on his back or whatever. He was losing out. I would say probably like 4 out of 5 times he lost out. So I mean, look, Spalletti has unlocked West to a dimension that I don't even know. I'm not even sure that existed for him to be doing all this shit. Like, because literally, like, he can be on the left side of the pitch. If Juve loses the ball, they try to counter press to ensure that, because obviously they're in a compromised defensive shape, right? If your left back is if your right back is on the left side in the left half space, they try to counter press, maybe get the ball back to slow or at least slow Napoli down, have them pass back to the goalkeeper or whatever. But if that doesn't succeed, you see West busting it. He's busting it back to the right back position, and the ability to utilize his ground coverage, which has always been elite.
Mm-hmm.
The ground coverage has always been elite, but then to also incorporate the fact that, number one, he is a welcome dance partner in the attack, which is something that I don't think he gets enough credit for. Right. Welcome dance partner in the attack, and because a lot of people would just say he's a chaos merchant, right? He just gets up there and like, he kind of bull and China shops his way to things happening. There's more intelligent design to it than that. And so to be able to get him in attacking areas around Jonathan David, around Kefren Turam, Yildiz, all these boys, like, so that he can interplay with them. And then also to be able to use his ground coverage ability to where if things do break down, you got somebody that you trust, that is going to give it their all. You know what I'm saying? Juve loses the ball. He's not looking around like poor guy.
No.
Right. he's trying to get back in the defensive line to ensure that Juve gets results. And it's a huge result against Napoli. I mean, bro, did you see the goal in Champions League?
Oh yeah.
Midweek against Benfica. Come on, man. Come on, man. If this was somebody else in the pool.
Right.
Bells, matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and cut because I don't forget. I don't forget. Last year in the Champions League, Gio Reyna had a nice back heel assist to Remy Bensebaini against Shakhtar Donetsk. And Bells, what you do to it?
I found some of my favorite piano, violin, and cello transcriptions of Bach, and I slowed it down way down and put it out on the channels. I'm proud of that. It was beautiful, in my opinion.
With the same amount of care that you took for that map,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And so this happens, a goal that I think is of a similar level of quality, similar level of beauty. The beautiful game. all
Mhm.
different type of stuff. Weston receiving a little layoff from Jonathan David that's a little bit behind him. He does well to keep it under his control, does a little pirouette to get back facing towards the goal, slides it over to Jonathan David. Jonathan David slides it back to him. Weston McKennie then once it slid back to him, he's 1v1 with the keeper, gives the keeper the eyes
Yeah, the eyes is what really gets me on this one.
to
Yeah.
the far post, near post finish with the right foot against Jose Mourinho's Benfica. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Benfica, who's a known Champions League, I mean, you can't just write them off as
Yeah,
Portugal.
they are formidable for sure.
Formidable opponent. So all I'm saying is this game happened when? Wednesday? Tuesday?
Where's the video? Where's my
It-
video with the classical
Look,
music?
man, I ain't seen no classical music. I ain't seen no concertos. No nothing, bro. And all I'm saying is, I mean, truly, this is Christian Pulisic. You know what? Matter of fact, we're gonna put Christian Pulisic in a separate category because he actually comes from a soccer family, a dad who truly knew what he was doing
Yeah.
when it comes to developing Christian. Like Christian was over in England at 9 years old, and by like intelligent design, Wes was just over there because his dad was enlisted in Germany, right?
Right.
And so Pulley over here, West is probably the finest soccer player this country has produced. If you exclude Christian Pulisic.
If you exclude former pros, the children of former pros, or dual nats, and I don't even have anybody in mind as a dual nat who is, I don't even have anybody in mind there. I'm just saying, like, yeah, people, but Wes is special too because he spent some of his childhood in Germany. As people will say, he's not exactly produced by America because some of his formative years were in Europe.
I hear that, and I mean,
like formative years, like what, 8 to 13 or something like that. I mean, that's where the magic happens.
I don't know exactly what the years were. I thought he was a little bit younger than that, but maybe I'm tripping. I could be tripping.
Could be wrong. Yeah,
I could be wrong, but and you know what? I don't want to shade Landon Donovan. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is the man's up there. The man's up there, and when you talk about midfielders specifically, I heard like Landon Donovan, Tim Howard kind of poo-pooed that idea that Weston McKennie is one of the best. I mean, the proof's in the pudding, bro.
yeah.
The proof's in the pudding. The idea that you can put this man in, and when he scored the goal against Benfica, the commentator is like, in this competition, he's been Juve's superstar. Like, oh, come on, man.
I took him
ability, the ability to be able to do this, to give these performances in different positions, doing different things. I mean, you never hear poor guy from the man. He's out there to get results. I was in the Discord earlier today. I'm hearing people, they're playing up the out of the project thing once again. But
it doesn't matter whose project he's in. It's like the question is, are you in Weston's project or not?
That's right. That's right. And yeah, man.
We are. I am in Weston's project. I took him number 1 in my draft. Built my team around him. And kind of want to put him at striker now and throw Damian Downs over at right wing.
And I don't know if I didn't know if I could love a manager more than I loved Allegri.
You don't love Spalletti more than Allegri, though, do you?
I don't, bro. If this continues for another few months and then maybe get me Weston McKennie re-signing in another year, 2 years, you know what I'm saying, of this, because he's truly unlocked the man, bro. You're seeing his full potential. Another thing about Wes, I'm a big Greg Berhalter guy. His biggest sin is probably going as long as he did, without including Weston in the attack, bro. The whole system that he was running designed to keep Weston out of the attack, making things happen. When people look at your team, for instance, Bells, and they say, "Oh, MMA can't score goals," I would put a decent chunk of that on the fact that Greg Berhalter kept one of his most potent attackers out of the attack on purpose, and we attacked with a strict 5 when we were under Greg Berhalter. You know what I'm saying? There was no intermingling within the attack for Weston McKennie. Couldn't do it. Not under Greg. Not under # the coach. No sir. And I understand we did what we did at the world. I'm not.
I mean, West did blaze that one over, or just was it off the crossbar, or did it go over the bar against England?
Over.
Yeah. But so when it comes to the upcoming games and the upcoming World Cup,
mm-hmm.
Poch has liked to play Wes as a sort of a tucked in right winger, right? I mean, that's been where he's played him, and Wes hasn't been in very many camps for one thing, but
right half space.
Yeah.
So
that's probably where he's going to play
from
now on, which fits well with his recent experience at Juve.
Yeah.
Which opens up another spot in the midfield, if he's not in there and he's more in the attack. I mean, I guess all I'm saying is Poch seems to be rectifying this problem you're spotlighting about the way Berhalter deployed McKennie.
Oh yeah, for sure. We don't got to worry about that with our loco.
I just want to say also, I support and endorse the choreographed celebrations that Juve's doing right now. We got him, Yildiz, David, Thuram, and Kalulu choreographing, a lot of their goal celebrations lately. They did like the telephone call one after Wes's goal against Benfica, and then they all lined up and had a drink of tea after they beat Napoli, after they scored one of their goals against Napoli. So I mean, I've taken a lot of criticism over the years for not rating choreographed celebrations as high as the out of body ones, but I do want to say that I just want to get ahead of this brewing controversy and say that I appreciate these goal celebrations. I got to segue with poor guys, because we have a few of them in the pool right now. But you got anything else on Juve and Wes?
Okay. I had to find the tweet real quick. So this is Kefren Thuram to Gazzetta Sport after the match. He says, McKennie, Wes always plays well on the pitch. He's also a great locker room guy, always available to chat. He organizes a lot of dinners at his house. We go and play cards or watch a game. Lots of us from the team go, including Joe David.
Huh.
So.
Yeah, that's good. I'd love to play cards with Wes McKennie. That sounds awesome.
Everything's coming up West right now, man. The vibes are good. He's playing as well as I've seen him play in a while.
Perfect timing. So he's not a guy who says poor guy, who plays as if to receive the comforting poor guy phrase. But a couple of poor guys in the pool this weekend are further north than Torino, in Gladbach. Number one, Gio Reyna back out of the squad. And it said Fatma was saying he'll be back in mid-February, some kind of muscle strain. Same old story. So there's a poor guy right there. Another poor guy is Joe Scally, who in their 3-0 loss to Stuttgart chested the first one down for a gift in the box. Tough situation to be in, but you don't want to chest it right down to the nearest red shirt. He does that. The guy dances around him and tucks it away. And then the second goal is an own goal off of Scally's back. He doesn't even see it, but he ricochets it right in at the far post. So the poor guys award for the weekend goes to Gio Reyna and Joe Scally. The good news is Gladbach is pretty far from relegation territory. Stuttgart's actually pretty good. They're pushing for a Champions League spot. But
I mean,
bad news is bad news.
what we looking at here, Gio? Because I said at the beginning of the season, right? The fact that Gio's transfer saga turned out the way it turned out, that this is a prove it type deal that he's on. If it don't go well here, it might be a wrap. As far as Europe goes, or at least top 5 Europe. I
Yeah.
would say. So as of right now, we're looking at, let's see, 457 minutes. I want to say that has been played in this season. 0 goals, 0 assists for Gio Reyna, and now he's coming to the Ruckrunde. He's coming to the Ruckrunde. Four matches played by Gladbach. 26 minutes played for Gio, and now he's picked up a knock as well. And you know how knocks can go with young Giovanni, man. So
Yeah, he could be out for several months. Who knows? Yeah, and I think maybe the sad thing about it is he was starting to look. I think you even agreed to this at some points. Starting to look like he had a little more burst.
a little, I mean, as much as you can expect from Gio, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of like energy to carry the ball past people and stuff like that. Now he's sidelined. So
Yeah. And once again, it's just a shame because, like, back in 2018, 2019, when Scuffed was a young man, y'all came under much criticism for hyping this new generation of players, right? These guys aren't good. What have they done? Blah, blah, blah. And from where we sit right now, I think we're sitting at maybe like, 60th, 70th percentile outcome for the pool. Like everything has pretty much happened in the way that we have hoped that it would happen for the most part. I can't think of maybe Josh Sargent. Josh Sargent's probably a little bit of disappointment in there.
yeah,
But we've picked up some donuts along the way. And some of these dudes have been better than we thought they would be, et cetera, et cetera.
Pulisic's career has gone better than I thought it would, honestly. Same, I would say Wes's as well.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say probably Tyler's too.
Basically everybody except Gio and Josh.
Yeah. And Gio was the one. Gio was the one, man. It's just, I mean, and you wouldn't have known it. I mean, that day in Nashville, the Canada match, the day that we met, Bells.
Yeah.
Jesus, I'm sick. I don't know if y'all can hear it in my voice, but when we got word, like word came through that tailgate, right? That Gio had been sent home with a hamstring injury. And it also came through that tailgate that Wes had been sent home with a horny injury. They, you wouldn't have thought from that moment that would essentially be like the beginning of the end for Gio Reyna, but I think we're kind of here now, unfortunately. And it's just such a shame, man. It's such a shame because everything else has turned out as we kind of hoped and expected that it would turn out. And then a healthy, fit, firing Gio Reyna, who in my opinion deserved every bit of the hype that he got.
Yeah.
And if he reaches that potential, man, he could really be sitting here expecting something this summer. I still expect a little something this summer. And Gio's not fully RIP'd. He can still, for whatever reason, every time he plays for the national team, he shows up.
Yeah.
But
he'll give us something this summer. But it'd be nice if he could give us more.
It'd be nice if he can give us more. But yeah, with his club situation like this, I have to say I will be on notice every match. If he gives a stinker, I'm gonna call for his ass to be out of here, bro. You like, I mean,
yeah, that's fair.
I guess that's probably just the nature of, not playing ever. It's like you gotta be lights out every time you play with the national team, and probably with Poch too. probably viewing it in the same way, I would think.
Yeah, he's gonna be probably gonna be coming off the bench. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. There's still a few months. Hopefully this injury isn't as the sort of the worst case scenario that we've gotten used to with Gio, where he has a muscle strain and then he never really plays for the next year. But that's certainly in the realm of possibility. You know, I'm skipping around a little bit here, but let's go since we're missing that lock picker. I mean, we have Wes, so that's good. But
That's right. Don't leave him out of the conversation. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Everybody likes to leave him out of the conversation. AC Diego Luna, we don't produce players like this. Okay, well, Weston McKennie just did that in Champions League.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Don't leave him out of the conversation. And going forward, if you are listening to Scuff Podcast and you do leave him out of the conversation going forward, I got some questions for you.
Okay. All right. Yeah, he's Gio's hurt. Malik Tillman, after 2 straight losses for Leverkusen, dropped from the starting lineup for their game against Werder Bremen, which Leverkusen won 1-0. Tillman did come on for the last half hour or so, but game was already 1-0.
Another Ruckrunde casualty, bro. What's going on with You're having too much fun in them breaks. I don't know what's going on, man.
Yeah, I just like Malik's had some really good performances this season, obviously.
Yes.
But I imagine we'll see him back in the starting lineup before too long, but he's gotta perform.
Tier 1 player on my big board. You know what I'm saying? For I want to change my team name. I call him Mentality FC. Let's call him Inter Mentality. Thank you. But your Tier 1 player on my big board, leading my midfield on the pitch, and it's it's not good. He got dropped against Olympiacos too, which it was just like, okay, maybe it's just a little midweek. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing Olympiacos. Let's go ahead and fit in a Malik Tillman break here. But as you alluded to, Bells, they lost that match as well. And even though I'm slowly coming around on Malik, and I've always believed in the talent, whatever. But his application as a professional, for me, left something to be desired. And even as I move him up into Tier 1, and even as I have really admired and have been impressed by his performances, a few of his performances this season, this doesn't surprise me. Like, I don't know, Malik's not past this point yet. And, he's still a young professional, still figuring it out. So, yeah.
23 years old. I mean, he's about to lose that young professional label.
I mean, I guess so. What are we looking at? Rangers 2 years at PSV, and then this.
It'll be
2 years or 3 years at
World Cup kicks off.
Right. But I'm talking about actual, games played.
Yeah.
So what was it? It was Rangers 2 years at PSV?
I think so, but I mean, don't quote me on that.
Okay. I mean, but like I said, even in those 3 years of professional soccer before this year, I mean, still had questions about, if he can bring it every night, every day, if he can be the focal point for a top 4 Bundesliga side or whatever, or a challenging contender Bundesliga side, et cetera, et cetera. So
I think it's a journey that he's on right now, and it's not over yet. Also in the midfield, Tanner and Lyon beat Metz 5-2. That's 3 straight starts for Tanner Tessman, 3 straight wins for Lyon. They won 5-2 in a track meet at Metz, this little city just south of Luxembourg. Tanner got a hockey assist call back on a narrow offside call. He was dancing around on the ball inside Metz's box on multiple occasions. Lyon definitely has a new joie de vivre with Endrick in the lineup on loan from Real Madrid. He had a hat trick, and they're pretty fun to watch. I mean, they were already kind of fun to watch. Now they're even more fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you give them a game breaking attacker,
right?
Which is really like all they needed ever since they lost Turkey. They needed just another dude to just break the game open. You know, they still got Fofana, but they sell Mikatate.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I ain't seen Mikatate this season. So I mean, but yeah, I mean, him and Fofana on the wings. I mean, that's two speed demons. I mean, did you see? I don't. When I do this, I think that clip notes
The pass from Endrick to Tessman.
from Testament Injury.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that on Twitter where like Tessman had to like battle his way out of the defensive third and then played Endrick into the
Yeah.
down the sideline. Yeah.
Quite nice, quite
Yeah.
nice. Tanner's coming back from. I think he had a little injury. Had a little injury. I think he picked up while he was playing center back, if I'm not mistaken. But so he's kind of just now getting a spot back in the lineup. Got these three straight starts. I think he still looks a little. He looks a little rusty. Looks a little rusty. He's not. The one game he played, the Endrick match, the one he passed the ball. I forgot who the hell they were playing. But anyway, that match he looked kind of good. This one was maybe a little bit of a step back. But
Okay. Yeah, but he's on the at least he's healthy. He's back to starting. He's kind of on the right track. Another player who's been knocking some rust off, Johnny Cardoso. I
Yep.
thought so he gets his second straight start for Atleti. You know, I gotta say this because a lot of people get it wrong. What
No
they
H.
say, what's that?
No H.
Yeah, no H. You're not supposed to have the H. Atletico Madrid, and it's Athletic Bilbao. Anyway, they beat Mallorca 3-0. This is a relegation territory team. So a little bit of a good situation to knock some rust off. He had several nice moments. I clocked at least one stone cold tackle in the open field, a clever through ball into the box, some good work settling chaotic moments in the middle. He also did have a few moments that weren't that good.
Yes.
He struggled with the press.
Yes.
You know, he misses a teammate's run out wide. This is interesting. I forget, it was like maybe in the middle of the second half. He gets on the ball. His left winger is running into just a vast open space, and the whole crowd sees it, and they're basically just willing Cardoso to line it up and play it into that open space ahead of the attacker. He kind of dilly-dallies on the ball and then passes it behind him to make him it basically eliminates the threat that was created by the run.
Yeah.
And you can hear the whole crowd just kind of sigh. So anyway, some mixed stuff, but some good stuff from Cardoso.
Yeah. I mean, I watched the match. I don't know. I don't know. It seems like you've come away a little bit more optimistic than me, and I'm not pessimistic necessarily. I just don't think he played that well.
Okay.
He had some decent moments. You know, he did his Johnny thing, but he's very much still knocking some rust off. It seems to me. But yeah, 2 straight starts in the league. They sold Conor Gallagher, so he's out of there. Well, go ahead.
Let me say this. I think this was better. I talked about this with Charlie last week in the Tuesday review. I thought he was pretty bad in the previous start. And I think this was better than that. That's all.
Okay.
He remains an enigma, I think. To me, and I think to a lot of fans of the U.S. men's national team.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But that's what keeps us on our toes, baby.
Better an enigma than a poor guy, you know?
But better anything than a poor guy, bro. Bro, you know, that's really the whole thing that got me off the whole Gio thing. You know, it was everybody that was on Gio's side was basically taking the poor guy angle. And yeah, I don't know, man. You're a professional athlete. I can't poor guy you, brother. I can't poor guy you. And you know this. You know what else is funny? So the clip, I don't know, people who aren't on X probably won't know this, but Bell's clipped me talking about Rico on the draft episode and the fact that he was falling down and he slid down my draft board or whatever, posted on posted on Twitter. They came
I
for
really
me.
put you in the firing line there.
Put me in the firing line, man. Somebody said I look like I don't know how to walk backwards walk backwards 3 steps without falling down. Some person told me I had I don't know. Me and my wife were laughing at it. It was funny. I don't even know why I brought that
Didn't
up.
somebody say you're getting cooked on the internet, but you're right, or something like
Oh,
that?
of course. There are people that agree with me. There are people that agree with me, but yeah, you know what? Bells cut this whole thing. I forgot where I was going with this line of thinking.
I mean, it's kind of. I thought it was kind of fun, but sure. We don't have to go much longer. I gotta.
Oh, because the Peppy thing. Poor. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, Pepe's a poor guy. Just wrap it up like that, and I'll cut it. I'll cut the part where you said, "Cut this," and I'll forget. So suffice it to say,
Okay.
poor guy. Rico's a poor guy in that situation. I mean, he did cut his arm in half, falling over in a non-contact.
But that's what I'm saying. I reject anyone. Oh, because I'm sitting there stuttering and starting because of the fact that like contradictions to this very take are popping up in my head. like when I defended Surge against Javi, calling him a rat and all that different type of stuff. Like, I did take the poor guy angle there, but for the most part, and that's the thing about the whole Rico thing, is just like, if that same thing happened to my brother, I would tell him exactly what I said on the pod. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be no poor guy like, oh, get him next time, blah, blah. It's bad luck you broke your arm. Like, hey,
you'd be like, bro, be an athlete.
What the hell are you doing, bro? Just falling down. You know what I'm saying? I would have took a video of it, put it in the group chat, all the cousins. We would have had a good time. That's all. That's all. So yeah, no poor guy over here. You know what I'm saying? No poor guy for Gio Reyna. Dortmund's failing him. Greg Berhalter failed him by bringing it up in the conference. His parents have failed him by coddling him and blah, blah, blah. Hey, at a certain point, you're 23 years old. And if you're a professional, you're a professional. And those other professionals that you are competing against don't care about any of the stuff we talking about.
That's what I say. That's what I say to Gideon later today. Look, buddy, you want a crooked map on your black phone board? It's on you. You got to figure it out,
bro. Because it's all about. I mean, especially Gideon gonna be. He pointing to Iceland. You know what I'm saying? The crookedness of the map that made it to where he's pointing at the. I don't know.
Pointing at Greenland,
Greenland, Atlantic Ocean, whatever. But yeah, man, ain't no poor guy. Just fix it. Just fix it and get it right.
Yeah. Let's I do want to come back to Greenland at the end of the show because I think there's some World Cup news on that front. But let's take a break, and we got Tim Weah, Chris Richards, and a bunch of just sort of like odds and ends, and then let's get into what the same Pauli president said about perhaps boycotting the World Cup. We'll be back in a minute. Oh, if you want to skip the ads, join the Patreon. The link is in the show notes. Also, you get almost every week the clip notes that Vince puts together of crucial moments and not so crucial moments, just relevant moments from the weekend on video. It's always a lovely thing to get in your inbox. And then if you want to go to Germany with us, there's a link to that Google form in the show notes as well. We're going to the Rhine River Valley and then Eindhoven to see a PSV game. It's perhaps we won't be able to see Leverkusen Köln. That it sounds like that's going to be that's going to be really tough to get tickets to. So we may end up going to a Dortmund game instead, and see the yellow wall in action. I don't think I think Köln's going to be tough. We'll see. We're working on it. But anyway, trip to Germany. If you want to get emails from George Qureshi sort of to to give you more information and set it up, fill out the form in the Google Notes. Fill out the form in the show notes. We'll be back in a second. All right, we're back. Let's go to Tim Weah. He got an assist in a 3-1 win for Marseille over Lens. This was Lens' first loss since October. They won every single game since the end of October in all competitions. We're not throwing a bunch of draws in there like Juve loves to do. This is all wins. And this ends in Marseille. And Weah was rambling up and down that right wing. His assist was on the third goal, which iced the match. It was just a lovely, precise little first-time ball slid into the path of Guiri, the 9, to tuck it home. This was a tricky one because he had to put it between two defenders. There was a pretty narrow window.
Yep.
Lovely stuff from Tim. I don't know, anything else from you on Marseille?
Not much.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, yeah. Nice to see Tim get the assist. I wish Tim had some of Weston's freedom, from that right back spot. That would be nice. Because it kind of blunts him a little bit.
He is getting in the attack a lot, though. Just always on the right side. All right, another right back for the U.S. Serginho Dest got hooked at the half in a 2-2 draw at home for PSV against NAC Breda. NAC Breda scored 2 goals in the one in the 45th minute and one in the 46th minute of the first half. Dest not particularly at fault for either one, but Peter Bosch didn't like something he was seeing out there. And Dest comes off for Sildilia, I think is his name, who has started some games at right back. So something to watch there with Dest. Kylian Sildilia, a young defender, comes on for him. Maybe we'll need Tim Weah playing a relatively restricted right back role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you know why he got hooked or what?
I don't know why he got hooked. Do you?
No, I can't say that I've been watching PSV. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's time for Serge to go out and get out of there, though. You know what I'm saying? ACL raised. He's back from the ACL. Get a season of play or whatever, and let's go ahead and get a move on, bro.
I could see Serge having a good World Cup and then coming and playing in MLS for the rest of his career.
Maybe. I mean, ain't no telling what that means. But I was thinking about it earlier, and it's like, I mean, those good Leipzig teams that Tyler Adams was on back in those days. Angelino, who became an MLS player for a little bit, but
That's gonna come play for Inter Miami. That's what's gonna happen.
That would be it. I mean, look, all I'm saying is there should be a top 5 home somewhere for Serge, or at least to prove it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the Milan thing didn't go the way we wanted it to go. The Barcelona thing went sour as time went on. But whether it's a prove it deal or whatever, there should be one more opportunity for the man in one of these glamour leagues. So I would like to see it.
It's the thing is these are glamour leagues in relatively unglamorous places,
right?
Outside of probably Italy and Spain, which are, I think, at least in my mind, pretty glamorous all over. So I don't know. Maybe he ends up in Spain or Italy. I could see him saying, "Screw all this, screw the Gulf Stream. I don't need all this. I don't need all this rain. Let me go to the West Coast of America," like many before him. Real quick, another Crystal Palace loss, but Chris Richards scores again and wasn't directly at fault for any of the goals. He just nodded it in opportunistically after kind of a Rube Goldberg machine of a sequence, put it on his head 2 feet out. Dude, one of his teammates took a shot. It got deflected back off his head. So shot, deflection, off the shooter's head, and, pops over to Chris, and he just kind of helps it along into the net. He's now made 100 appearances for Palace. Things are not going well at that club, but Chris seems to be doing fine.
Yeah. What? Glasner's leaving.
Yeah.
Sold
Gahey. Yeah.
Which for me is good news because, like, okay, because you put the two together, Glasner leaving and Gahey being sold, which to me, at least eliminates, like, okay, so let's say a back four manager comes in after Glasner, right? With Gahey gone, very small possibility that Chris Richards is out of the lineup, at least to start, and as it goes forward and as they fill Gahey's spot, but who's gonna get the first shot? Chris Richards, I would say, to be in that back four. If that were to happen, I'm not sure it is gonna happen. I don't think their teams, because you don't want to take what my boy Munoz
No.
out the attack. You know what I'm saying? You want him to keep bombing, getting up and down, whatever. So they probably will just get a back three manager to take over after Glasner. I would think if I was running Crystal Palace, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not a friend of a Men in Blazers co-host.
Yeah. I mean, that difference between playing in a back three and a back four is I've learned in the last couple years a pretty more significant difference in role than maybe I would have said 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Other center backs, Austin Trusty got a red card in a 2-2 draw at Hearts. Celtic remains 6 points back. This was a soft dog-so, in my opinion, but not a good look for Austin, my starting center back in the draft that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So that's a very disappointing for Celtic. They needed those 3 points. And McKenzie got an assist, which is a little bit misleading. He just threw it in backwards to one of his midfielders who took a couple touches and then ripped it from like 25 yards.
Okay.
He was going to do the big, I think he was all lined up to do the big throw into the box, that everybody loves doing these days. But instead he just threw it backwards to Diop, I think his name is.
Okay. I gotta, before we go on to our last part of the show, got a little striker roundup. Just real quick. That's real quick. Big Pat's scoring goals.
Yeah.
In the championship. Scored another one this weekend against West Brom, against George Campbell and West Brom. There was some plenty yank on yank action. And these unfortunate, well, not unfortunately, but it's gonna be unfortunate how I say this, but y'all know what I mean. These are real yanks, lots of saturated fat and high fructose corn syrup when these two collide together. You know what I'm saying? It's real meaty men smacking each other. You know what I'm saying? Like
these aren't organic Europeans.
No. This is not heirloom wheat or whatever they call it. You know what I'm saying? This is wheat with a whole bunch of gluten in it, etc. Real American boys smacking each other. So these are heavyweight bouts between George Campbell and Big Pat. They took turns getting each other. Big Pat tried to square up George on a 1v1 on the left wing at one point. George took the ball away. There was another, I think, just ball coming up in the air where Big Pat held George off maybe once, but the Big Pat did have the West Brom backline scrambling just by being Big Pat. Now, he's been scoring these goals in the championship. You may be asking yourself the question, has Big Pat leveled up? Is he the prince that was promised? Can he, in a World Cup match, come off the bench, right? Because as long as Florian Jerry Balogun is playing, I don't know if y'all know his middle name was Jerry, but Florian Jerry Balogun is playing, he will be on that pitch starting for my U.S. men's national team. Can he come off the bench and save the team, score a late goal, something? Maybe. My answer to that is maybe. But go ahead, Bill.
I think he can, and it's not because he's leveled up. It's because he's got a special skill set that nobody else has. Like, you saw the goal he scored last weekend. He just leaned over this guy.
Oh, yeah, I did see that.
Leaned over this guy and finessed that ball to an unstoppable place, bounced it off the turf up into the top left corner.
Yeah.
If you can do that,
tax.
yeah, I mean, that's the question. What's the tax rate right now?
Well, we will be playing.
It's a high tax rate.
We will be playing Op of the Year, Caleb Burgess, in the group stage. So, I mean, if we find ourselves tied with Australia, I do like our chances for Big Pat to get that boy to what for. But
if you're lumping it into the box, there's nobody else on the team you want in there more than Big Pat in the pool, I would say. And that's what these games come down to a lot, you know? I mean, it's the beautiful game until there's 5 minutes left and you're down a goal, you know?
I'm not going to straight up say you're wrong, but, you know, I see where you're coming from. I see where you're coming from. But what I've been alluding to for this past minute and a half, yeah, the general play is ass, brother. I mean, it's ass.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, yeah, none of that has gotten any better. Okay, I just want to let y'all know. And yeah, this is not to take away from Big Pat's utility for being that you know, sledgehammer at the end of games.
So, okay. I got you. What else? What other strikers? Yeah.
Damian Downs. What's that? 3 straight starts now for Hamburg. After
love to see it. Has he done anything good yet?
You know,
I spotlighted his hold up play a little bit last week.
It's much better than Pat's.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's leaps and bounds better than Pat's, for sure. He's able to make the ball stick, and you know what? He makes the ball stick quite a bit. And he's also, for Hamburg, he'll pop up in like a half space or something. He can receive the ball, turn a little bit, make some things happen. Hamburg isn't creating a ton of chances, so it's not like he's just
no.
He don't got a lot to eat off of. But I think he had a decent chance in this match that I think he hit straight at the keeper, or maybe off of a defender or something like that. But you know, he's been passable for Hamburg in the Bundesliga, I would say.
Which is something.
It's been passable. And then we got Flower and Jerry.
Yeah, how's he doing?
He hasn't scored in League since like November 28th or something like that. Which we got some Champions League. I think we got some Champions League goals and assists sprinkled in there in between. But in the league, it's been a minute. Monaco is not playing well whatsoever. Flo did some R8 things in the midweek against Real Madrid. I mean,
somewhat overshadowed by the scoreline.
Right. They lost 6-0, 5-0, or 5-1, I want to say. They did score a goal at the end. But Real Madrid was really trying to, like, somebody from Monaco should have punched somebody, bro. The goal they gave up, they were just very audaciously playing a rondo in their own box. And they gave the ball away, and then Monaco
and the thing is, it was obviously a blowout, but it didn't. You know, Monaco was threatening throughout the game. They just didn't get any ball go in, and Real Madrid did.
Yep, and there hasn't been a lot of ball go in here lately for Monaco, unfortunately. But Flo, you know, he's still doing his thing. He did all right. He did all right. I mean, when the ball comes into him, center backs in hell. It didn't matter who it was. Who the dude from Bournemouth, the white Danny Holson, whatever. Anyway, any Real Madrid defender was on his back, they were getting taken care of. Work coming around, getting the foot in. You're on following Jerry's back. You're gonna stay on following Jerry's back. And so, I think he's still playing well. He's still clear for sure. I don't even think we need to say that. No. But you know, lack of return on the goals and assists or whatever, it's coming. Don't worry
about it. The only other striker thing I can think of is Sargent, you know, trying to trying to get sporting asylum in Canada right now. Trying to go to Toronto, and Norris not real pleased about that. Had him training with the U21s. I guess did he play this past weekend? I don't think so.
I mean,
And you might say, well, why are we talking about Josh Sargent? Well, if somebody gets hurt, if somebody gets hurt, then he's next in line.
he did not play this past weekend, by the way. I don't think
he wasn't even in the squad. Yeah. Yeah, things are not good. So he wants to go to Toronto. Musa did not play in a 4-0 win over Parma, which is a little odd because he's played their last 7 before that league matches. But it was 4-0 pretty like it was a game that was not in doubt. So they didn't even need him. That's how I'm reading that. They didn't need Eunice. Wanted to save him for a more important
for sure.
occasion. And then Pulisic made a cameo, but didn't find a chance in a 1-1 draw with Roma from Milan, who falls further behind Inter.
I do want to talk about Benha Kramaski because he really just real quick, because he really is doing a study abroad semester, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he could have been an MLS champion. And I think he still is. I think he still gets to be an MLS champion. He probably still gets a ring and all that different type of stuff, but he missed out on the celebration.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Missed out on potentially, participating in the playoffs or the
championship. Probably would have played it. He probably would have played in the final,
But instead, I mean, who would turn down a free study abroad? Not even free. You know what I'm saying? You're getting paid to do that.
Yeah, get a stipend.
Yeah, get a stipend, study abroad semester in Italy. As a young tan man, you know what I'm saying? He's probably having a good time. But as far as football on the pitch, you know what I'm saying, it's not having a great time. He's not playing a lot.
Did not play in this 4-0 loss against Atalanta. And then I guess the last thing I wanted to bring up is the president of St. Pauli, a fella named Gottlich, says maybe it's time to consider boycotting the World Cup. Here's the lead from the Associated Press. A German Soccer Federation Executive Committee member says it's time to consider a World Cup boycott because of the actions of U.S. President Donald Trump. Gottlich, the president of Bundesliga club St. Pauli and one of the German Federation's 10 vice presidents, told the Hamburger Morgenpost newspaper in an interview on Friday that, quote, the time has come, end quote, to, quote, seriously consider and discuss this, end quote. And it's not so much for Gottlich about the people getting senselessly gunned down in Minneapolis as it is about the whole Greenland thing. And here's a good quote from him. As organizations and society, we're forgetting how to set taboos and boundaries and how to defend values. Taboos are an essential part of our stance. Is a taboo crossed when someone threatens? Is a taboo crossed when someone attacks, when people die? I would like to know from Donald Trump when he has reached his taboo. And I would like to know from Bernd Neuendorf and Gianni Infantino. Neuendorf is the president of the German Federation. Gianni Infantino, of course. Johnny Infantino is the president of FIFA. And I know, some of you are going to say, Bells, I don't want to hear about this from you. But,
what you say back to him, Bells? Poor guy.
Yeah. Poor guy. Well, I have long been reluctant to get into stuff like this. Because, I think people are chaotic and dramatic on the internet. I mean, that's basically my view of things. But come on. Why do these people have to die in Minneapolis? Protect and serve. That's what police are supposed to do. They're supposed to take on a little bit of danger to protect and serve the people around them. That's not what is happening in Minneapolis. And I know that's not what Gottlich is about. But nobody's being protected or served in Minneapolis. And the whole Greenland thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, I don't know about obviously, but it sure seems like it's not something that's going to happen.
Yep.
Us going to war with Denmark over Greenland. But come on, man, there's consequences to this stuff. And
They're acting like there's not.
Yeah. And then they just lie. Christy Nome just straight up lying as soon as the news comes out.
Right.
Come on,
And
man.
and that's my thing. They're gunning. Look, they're gunning down Adam Bells's in the street. Okay, okay. And then after this is they know it's on video. They know anybody with access. Look, I'll tell y'all this. I've stopped watching videos of people being killed by law enforcement. I stopped doing that in like 2012. It's just not good. I don't think it's good for your psyche. To see these types of things. I understand what happened. I've read everyone's accounts of what's going on in the video, and I'll just leave it. I'll leave it there. I don't need to see it. But I've seen the pictures of the man, and like I said, you know what I'm saying, it's good. I mean, Adam Bells, you're a former resident of Minneapolis. For
Yeah, this all
how many
happening
years?
within blocks of where I used to live. Yeah.
How many years? Where you lived?
8 years.
8 years. They're gunning down Adam Bells and then coming on the TV to tell you that the Adam Bells that was gunned down is some type of
Domestic terrorist.
who was hell bent on mass murdering ICE agents. And when you watch the video of if that's your thing, if you watch the video of what happened, and then you watch the video of Chrissy Noam talking about this thing, there to me, there's only one conclusion you can draw from this, man. You can draw from this, and I struggle to see how what people's worst fears, like I struggle to see how the worst fears that people had, don't get me wrong, I did not vote for Trump, have never voted for Trump, never will vote for Trump, but I struggle to see how we would descend into full fascism. But when you take those two things I just mentioned, the video of what happened, and then Christy Noam talking, we're here, brother. We're here, brother. And so you may not want to hear it, but this is what's going on in the world as we live right now. And it's up to us to decide, with the small amounts of power that we have, which is really just our ability to gather in numbers and protest. It's up to us to decide which country, what we're going to accept, number one, and what kind of country we want to live in.
Yeah.
And if you see those two things and you still, I don't know, believe, I don't know, if you're inclined to believe anything other than what's right there in front of you,
poor guy.
Yeah, poor guy, man. I mean, it's crazy, but us over here, we're gonna be trying to get results. And how does that manifest into my life? I don't know. I don't really know, to be completely honest with you. I think that's most people are kind of struggling to figure out how we can get results because of just the fact that we got this whole police state. The fact that everyone gathering together, the fact that there's a risk of this happening in the first place, but off the back of a protest, you know what I'm saying? Like I heard somebody talk about the first shooting, and they were saying that number one, of course, it's on the federal government for unleashing these mobs for at least, you know what? Just mark this. I don't feel like going back.
You don't feel like going into it. I just think, I know a lot of people in Minneapolis, and these are, not I know some people in the activist class, but I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about really just like regular, reasonable people. Not even regular, just reasonable people who are not just like knee-jerk anti-Trump or whatever. They feel oppressed. It feels oppressive to have thousands of knuckleheads in balaclavas running around shooting people. It's ridiculous. And you might say, well, don't act crazy in front of an ICE agent and you won't get shot. Sure, I get it. Renee Good was acting crazy. She was acting a little crazy. Should she die for that? She just get shot and then called a fucking bitch by the ICE agent? No. So we got to wake up a little bit on that. And okay, Gottlich, you know, he's already awake. He's already awake.
Yeah, and you know, that's what's so crazy about this thing is like I don't know if it seems to be a misstep by the administration because you know what? We don't have it doesn't seem like we have an opposition party here in this country. Right before Alex Preddy got shot, we had a bill that passed through the House, 7 Democrats voted for, that that funded ICE. You know, that's funding ICE throughout this administration. A huge amount of money going towards ICE and their ability to occupy cities and cause terror amongst the residents. And so knowing that we don't have an opposition party, well, what I'm saying is him making this a global, making the Greenland thing a global issue to where now trade markets get involved. Now, not just trade markets, everything that comes from the economic fallout of a potential trade market collapsing, you know, stock markets, all the stuff that Donald Trump very much cares about, the stock market, very much cares about economic populism, kind of.
Yeah, he wants to oust the president of the Federal Reserve for not lowering interest rates fast enough. I mean,
right. And so now he kind of has created an opposition coalition, which is potentially the EU and Canada. And, you know, and so we'll see what ends up happening off the back of all this stuff. But yeah, man, as someone who likes to always assume the best and someone who always, my main mode of operation is just like nothing happens, nothing's going to happen, nothing will happen. You know what I'm saying? We kind of just find our equilibrium as things go on.
I'm a little like that too. Everybody calm down. Nothing's really happening. Well,
this is not
feels
that
like something's happening. Yeah.
This is not that time. It's not that time, brother. And so yeah, here we are.
I would like for the World Cup to proceed.
I would too.
And I assume it will, to your point just a moment ago. But come on, man. Stop doing bad stuff and lying about it. And if you support all that, you know, come on, be reasonable, please. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see ya.